Okay, hello and welcome everyone. I know this is a very impromptu live. I usually don't do these things. I'll usually schedule something, put posts off, let people know. But I had some time today. I got everything I needed done, so I'm going to say most of it. I got whatever was on my goal list done today. And I have been meaning to treat myself for a very long time. And if you're a body confidence specialist, you know this. You know, our clients all the time, oh, you must love having these machines. You must do it to yourself all the time. No, because we're tired and we go home. This is our job. Not that we don't love our job, guys, but like at the end of the day, we're tired. And you know, our clients say it all the time, and we can totally reflect on the fact that as women, we often neglect ourselves, putting other people before us. And that's just, not that I've been doing that recently. I just really haven't had time to treat myself, and it's been something that I've been wanting to do, okay? So guys, we're gonna get a little intimate today. I'm gonna share a couple things that I'm a little insecure about. So, first things first. If you're a bad mind and you have negative things to say about my body or anybody else's body, just remember that says more about who you are than what I look at like, okay? So keep your comments to yourself. If this ends up on YouTube, it'll probably go on my page. I really don't care what you think. I only care about how I feel about myself, okay? So the point is, let's be proactive. I came from the gym. I've got some good endorphins going. So we're gonna work on some things, all right? So, just like we always ask our clients, do you mind if I undress in front of you? If you mind me undressing in front of you, you might want to turn away. Okay? Don't worry, I am wearing appropriate attire for this live, okay? Because again, I came from the gym. I'm a little sweaty. So, I just want to show you guys abdomen. So this looks incredibly normal, right? We're like, okay, Anna, there's no problem here. Now, we have become master chameleons, especially with all of our Spanx or shapewear. These are Lulus, so you know I've got a little junk in the trunk today because of the Lulus. But we are going to do a gradual unveiling, just like with an onion. We're gonna peel back the layers of Anna, all right? Okay, so first we're gonna pull this up, guys. So this is my rib cage. These here, this is not my ribs. Can you guys see it? Hold on. So then I'm just going to pull it down. You can see it gets a little bit more obvious. We've got a couple fascia, fat pocket lumps in specific areas. Now, granted, I have been into fitness my entire life, guys. Oh, sorry, I left some marks. I've been in fitness my entire life. Okay, I am a mother of 4. But our bodies change over time, which we know. It's also a lot paler because, guys, I no longer wear a bikini. It's full piece for me. I get the sexy ones from Fashion Nova and or online. But this, oh my gosh, can you see it? Hold on. I had a better view. I'm like, is the lighting bad? Here. So this is actually postural. You can see it from the side too. There's some lumps here. It's due to posture. Now, if you guys remember, on our last, not our most recent fascia seminar, we were the one where we sat with Dean Singh. He talked about posture and how if we're not sitting upright and grounded, and if we're not breathing through our abdomen, there's a lack of circulation, there's a lack of blood flow to the area, which leads to unhealthy fascia. And as we all know, what you wear shape you. So I'm often in high pants up to about here. You can't really see it, but there's actually a line from where my high pants have been digging into me, okay? So when I go like this is how I sit. This is what it looks. So you can see where the lines are, and then you can see where these pockets are associated with the line. So we got some tight, unhealthy fascia that's kind of restricting. And you know, if you are an HTP student and you were on the last video about fascia, or last seminar about fascia, we know that fascia also encases fatty tissue. So if that fascia around that fatty tissue becomes unhealthy, which it clearly has in this case, you know, it's going to become tight, wound, and bound. So there's a couple things that I'm going to do today if you're a body contouring specialist, you know, these are the first couple things we look for when our clients come in. So if I tell if I'm a client and I tell me I want fat reduction, I'm going to look at me and I'm going to say, no, this isn't really fat reduction. This is going to be some radio frequency to lift, because again, we've got loose skin for babies, okay? And then I'm going to go in with some mesotherapy just to provide more nutrient dense minerals and vitamins to the fascia, but also it's a formula that has that makeup that breaks up some of this fatty tissue as well. Sorry, I don't know, can I get a better, is there a better, hold on, I'm trying to really show you my abdomen here. So can you kind of see the pockets? Overall, it's not too bad. I'm not complaining, but again, these are things, our insecurities are all very, 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 very personal, okay? So again, if you're bad mind your business, because I don't have time for that. So first thing we're going to start with is some radio frequency. So I have the glycerin mix here. So I'm going to put on some gloves because this stuff tends to get sticky. Also going to protect my shorts just as I would for a client. This way we can also kind of wipe our hands there. So I've got my gloves here. I'm going to apply the radio frequency conductor, so I'm using a glycerin mineral mix. I prefer this over ultrasound gel clearly because you don't need the reapplication, so it's not going to reduce the surface temperature on my skin. I don't put the little lid on this. I keep everything in the ultrasound gel. I'm not going to, gel bottle, I don't put the lid on it because there's been so many times I squeezed it too hard and the lid just popped off. So now this just reminds me that it's going to pour all over the place. Okay, guys? So here I'm just doing a little lymphatic stimulation. Again, you know, radio frequency is an excellent tool for fat reduction as well. It creates malleability in the fatty tissue. It starts to compromise the fat cell. If you want to do lymphatic stimulation, you can definitely do that on your own at home. A healthy lymphatic system means a healthy body. It means healthy blood flow, healthy fascia, increased energy, mental awareness, and all kinds of benefits. So you can do that, but as mentioned in our previous seminar, you can stimulate the lymphatic system just by breathing. All right, we have a lot of these lymph nodes in our abdomen. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Giving myself the little tummy massage, all with the glycerin, and I am prepped to go. So the first thing I'm starting with is radio frequency, guys. So that means I need to get my abdomen to 40 to 42 degrees Celsius and maintain that for 30 minutes. Hold on, RF body. I'm going to go ahead and turn that right up. If it gets too hot, I will reduce to maintain. So circular motions, I'm going to start with smaller areas. I really do love my Kim 8 because it heats up like right away, okay? But we're working on smaller areas because if I'm working too much circumference, I'm going to lose that heat on my tissue and I'm going to have to work twice as hard. So we're going to start by heating up the upper area. You can do yours in sections as well, and then we'll gradually increase it. So here we are, guys. Doing some radio frequency on my belly. If you're just joining us, I was just talking about how us as body contouring professionals, we tend to neglect ourselves. And I had some time after the gym. You know what's funny is some people think those are abs. They look like abs, but it's not abs. But yeah, so I'm just addressing right now some of the laxity in my tissue because I have had 4 kids. And we know that radio frequency is also a great resource for fat reduction as well because it does create that malleability in that fatty tissue, okay? You'll notice that, no, my tummy is not tanned at all, and that is because I typically go for full bathing suits these days, but the cute ones, as mentioned before. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to put them in just in the chat. I'll go ahead and answer as we go because we might be here for a minute as it heats up, okay? So I am now at about 39 degrees Celsius. I just have to heat it up one more and then we're maintaining, right? One thing about doing this to yourself is we don't have the proper body mechanics. So when you are treating a client, you are able to stand, you know, Actually, I can do it shoulder width apart, right? But we're also able to use our bodies while we move these handles, and it's not just all shoulder work, right? So right now, the majority of this is shoulder and elbow work, which is why a lot of us, are getting, you know, repetitive strain injuries, tennis elbow. I will do a live later on, but I will announce it about body mechanics because it's important that we all take care of our bodies if you want to do this long term, okay? So what is the temperature I am trying to achieve? So with radio frequency, you need to have the temperature between 40 to 42 degrees Celsius in order for you to get that minor tissue damage and that stimulation of fibroblasts to occur, right? So when we're using radio frequency, it's kind of similar to like microneedling, where we're causing minor tissue damage, so minor burning, so the cells are forced to rebuild itself with additional collagen fibers. Now if this isn't something that you were taught, if you weren't taught how to use a body thermometer or what temperature you're supposed to be reaching, then you should check out the refresher course. And the main reason for that is if you are not monitoring your temperature, one, if it's too low, you're missing out on results. Number two, if it's too high, you're going to be causing more tissue damage than you are good. So you're actually going to be reversing the effectiveness of treatment because you're going to be causing more burning of the tissue. Do I have an Amazon shopping list? Absolutely. Link in bio, guys. My girlfriend's on here. She's going to be so happy that she sees me doing this because she's been telling me to do this for so long. You know exactly who you are. So yes, so Amazon shopping list, absolutely, guys. There's one in the link of in our bio. It's just some of the faves. We do get questions all the time about what do we use, what do we like for this, what do we like for that. It doesn't include the formulas. However, if you purchase one of our trainings, that will be accessible to you as well. So you can see, guys, I am at 40 degrees now. I'm going to check the clock because I'm looking to not make this the longest live ever. We're going to focus on skin tightening, so I'm going to maintain that for 3 minutes because 3 minutes we are creating that burst of fibroblasts from that minor tissue damage. When we go a little longer, I'm not going to give specific times right now because that's for training, but when you maintain that heat a little longer than 3 minutes, then we're getting into that fat reduction, malleability in the fatty tissue. Anybody else, guys? Okay, any questions, feel free to put them here or else I will be just chatting. Okay, so yes, my arm is getting sore. However, we got to do this, right? Not gonna lie, I have actually paid other people to do body contouring on me just because I didn't want to do it myself. It is a form of self-care, we do know that, guys, but doing it to yourself, it's like, oh, I'd still rather go have it done by somebody else. But we've got the tools and we got the time today. So we are going in. So you can see, like, my skin is nice and pink. We've got nice temperature on there. Perfect. Okay. Now this is why in some of those images, some of those after photos, you'll see very red skin. However, there is a way to reduce that, okay? Just to make your after pictures look a little bit nicer so it doesn't look like somebody was fully scraped or injured. Did you put glycerin on? Yes, only glycerin. Do not use oil with radio frequency, guys. Radio frequency with oil, the oil will act as a barrier for the conductor. I know a lot of you guys think that this is just producing heat, but it's not. There is a frequency traveling through the prongs and connecting, creating a full connection. It's traveling deeper into the layers of the dermis, which is why if you're using a body body thermometer gun, you will notice that surface temperature is different from body temperature, okay? So glycerin is the best. You cannot use oil with radio frequency. If you were taught to do that, please stop. Oil also heats at different rates, so you have options of burning clients a lot quicker or creating that zapping effect. All right, guys, so I am focusing on the abdomen. I'm not going too far out just because I find the skin here is a little firmer. Although my girlfriend watching is probably saying, Anna, do your whole freaking tummy. Stop, you know, doing a little cheat sheet here. Listen, I got time for this. I'm going to have time for this. This is what I'm going to do today. So, All of you watching, this is what I'm working on. I've got some lines and deep indentations in here. So I'm using the radio frequency. I've had 4 babies. I want to tighten my skin. I'm also over the age of 35. So even though as I lose weight, I still, you know, get that boost of collagen, right? It's decreasing with age. So we've got glycerin, we're using radio frequency, we're monitoring the skin temperature. My arm is getting super tired, especially seeing as I just did a workout, but hey, you know what? We're burning extra calories. If you have questions, please put it in the chat and I'll see it as it comes up. So, we're having beautiful weather here today. Alright, so I've been able to maintain the heat for 3 minutes. I'm just going to go a little bit longer. If you've been watching or if you've, yeah, don't use oil. Definitely do not use oil with frequency therapies at all. So guys, just so you are all aware, with frequency therapies, our skin has a natural barrier to frequency, okay? There are frequencies all around us. There are, well, we're connected by Wi-Fi right now. You know, even this video that we're watching is a frequency. Microwaves are frequencies. There are a whole bunch of frequencies, and our body has a natural barrier. That's one of skin's, that's one of the purposes of our skin, okay? Is it acts as a natural barrier to frequencies, but also like weather and so on, and it protects us, a whole bunch of things. But that's why, you know, one, having a conductive agent to help conduct, to help break down that barrier of the skin, as well as time on tissue, so how long you're actually using the modality on the tissue before it becomes effective, is something that's so important. You know, a lot of us just go in, use every handle in our body contouring on our 6-in-1 machines, not knowing that you could actually get better results with reducing that, okay? We're gonna like sticking to less modalities and targeting what is actually the issue. So I've been able to heat and maintain. You can see it is red. Now, if this was a radio frequency session for a client, I would move into the recovery period, and what that would do is it would get some visually aesthetically pleasing results where there's less redness, less inflammation. However, what we're doing instead is I want to move into the needleless mesotherapy, okay? And we're moving into the needleless mesotherapy. So if you're just joining, guys, I'm letting you know, no bad mind here. So if you have something negative to say about my body, or if you think something negative, you can keep that to yourself. It says more about who you are than it does about how I look. Okay? So yeah, so if you're just joining, guys, basically I'm working on my abdomen here. Due to posture, due to babies, I have a couple chunks of fatty tissue in odd places. Can't really see it because I'm red right now. And, you know, it's just, I'm not a fan of it. I don't wear bikinis anymore. And although the issue really is posture, and I should be working on that. Thank you so much. I should be really working on that. That's still a work in process, my core work, okay? So I was mentioning earlier, you know, how proper, I'm going to take this out right now, how proper posture is so important, especially when sitting, and getting your abdomen engaged through abdominal breathing, because it stimulates your lymphatic system and it helps with circulatory issues. It helps circulation throughout your entire body. It's going to help to reduce cellulite and other issues in the fascia. We learned that from Dean Singh in one of our live seminars. So we're going in. I love how you guys think you're like, oh, I look amazing. I'm like, if the lighting was better. But yes, I am very pleased, guys. But as we are all pleased with our bodies, there are still things that we would like to change. So we went into RF. How much do you advise of RF? Again, it's about heating the tissue between 40 to 42 degrees Celsius, depending on if you're just trying to heat the skin to induce collagen fibers, or if you're trying to heat more of the subdermal tissues to create that malleability in fatty tissue. You're going to be heating for different periods of time. definitely glycerin, guys. Stop using oils. I am surprised that people are still teaching to use oils with frequency therapies. The only time in which you should be using oils is for vacuum therapy, okay? So we went in, we did a little bit of radio frequency because, again, I could use a little lift. We're also, again, producing heat on that fascia, creating malleability to kind of lengthen, because the spots are right where, how I sit, okay? So you can, oh, don't want to drop that. You can see posturally, if I'm sitting down like this is where this fascia is creating tight, and that's where those pockets are, okay? And it's important to look at these things when you're assessing your clients as well. So, sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Guys, remember, the knowledge is power. Never feel bad for something somebody else taught you. You're awesome, and you're doing your best, and the fact that you're seeking out information, that speaks volume on who you are, right? So, guys, I'm going to move into mesotherapy. Now, typically, you can just hold this over the client and do the little drops, but because I'm standing, if I just drop it, it's going to go down. I've got electroporation here, which is what I'm going to use on myself. You can absolutely use radio frequency and cavitation for mesotherapy. However, because my goal with radio frequency was skin tightening, I had it at a different frequency in which I would need it for the meso treatments, okay? So that's why I didn't use my radio frequency for the meso. I also use glycerin, which, as you guys were seeing, I was pouring some stuff on to completely cleanse the skin and remove all of that, because what's going to happen with meso, regardless of what frequency you're using, when we're using at the right frequency, we are pushing the serum into the tissue to be absorbed, either deeper layers in the tissue, or if you're with electroporation, inside the cell itself. And I don't want to be pushing glycerin or anything else like that inside the cell. So excuse me as I make some weird movements, because of course we're treating ourselves. I am getting the meso on there, perfect. And I'm just going to be here working these areas with mesotherapy, okay? So mesotherapy, guys, especially needle, well, let's just talk about mesotherapy in general. So you guys see it a lot right now, fat burners, needle injection, Kybella, yada, yada, yada. All of this is a form of mesotherapy. It was actually introduced by a French doctor years ago. And it was a form of delivering medicine directly to the area that required treatment. So it's, instead of taking a pill, for example, to cure you of a symptom, a needle injection with these, a needle injection with the vitamins, minerals, or whatever was required for that problem would be directed right into the area. How do you clean off the glycerin? Depending where it is, you can use alcohol, to clean the area. I would not use that on the face, however. Glycolic acid, something that's going to really, like a toner or something that's really going to remove all the dirt and debris from the face. What serum is this? This is mesotherapy. So right now I am working with a serum that's going to stimulate, or sorry, give some, show some love to our fascia, but also break down the fatty tissue. But getting back to mesotherapy, so what mesotherapy is basically the induction of specially formulated serums deep into the tissue to treat the actual area. Oh my God, there's a whole bunch of people joining here that I didn't think would see me like this. So if you see me on the streets, don't look at me funny, okay? You guys know who I'm talking to. Anyways, yeah, so basically, traditionally, mesotherapy was applied through needle injections, as mentioned before, Kybella. I'm sure there's others in the market that I'm just not, I don't get into that. Here in North America, unless you're a registered nurse, or sorry, here in Canada rather, unless you're a registered nurse, you can't inject anybody with anything. So I've never gotten into understanding the different kinds of injectables, just because that's fully outside of my scope. So this is not cavitation. This is electroporation. It is the smaller handle on your S shape. It has electroporation, low frequency, which can be adjusted depending on which area of the body you're trying to target with mesotherapy, whether it's serums or whether it's for your fat. No, you don't need the electroporation machine for this. You can use RF and cavitation. They work a little differently on how they deposit the serum into the tissue. However, we will go over all of that in training and how to be effective with the different settings depending on if you're targeting issues of the skin or issues of fatty tissue or issues of muscular tissue. So yes, so it started as needle injections. However, with developments of frequency therapies and scientific studies, we have modalities that were actually used in the medical field. Okay, they have a bunch of clinically proven studies done on them that help to basically treat the body, and that's where our frequency therapies came from. Now, what does that mean for mesotherapy? Well, we have a number of non-invasive opportunities that will still help to push these vitamins, minerals, nutrients, pharmaceutical grade serums into the tissue to treat the causation and not just the symptom, right? So basically, guys, you got to think about creams, okay? We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on creams annually, okay? Y'all can go to Sephora, you can get a whole bunch of advice, we can get all these creams that we put on our skin. Those are just absorbed topically, so in the surface layers of our skin, okay? Some serums can penetrate more deeply, however, you need something typically to flush that in. And that's why a lot of people will use at-home microneedling, because those will create some minor lesions in the tissue for absorption deeper into the dermis, okay? However, with frequency therapies, we're able to use a needleless opportunity to push these serums deeper into the dermis dermis, subcutaneous fatty tissue, as well as muscle, so that we can deliver these clinically formulated serums directly to the problem area. So directly to the fat, the muscle, the skin, you know, the fascia, whatever it is we're trying to address. So right now, what am I trying to address? Great question. I am working on fatty tissue and I'm working on healthy fascia, okay? So basically there are a bunch of different serums designed for a bunch of different concerns, guys. And what we do with these modalities is we work them into the tissue until they're fully absorbed. With electroporation, what is happening is it's actually able to open the cell fully with the current in order to fully absorb the product. So this actually, electroporation has a 90% retention rate with the serums. When we're looking at things like, when we're looking at things like microneedling, needle injections, what's the other one? Hyaluron pen, these things are, they're stuck into the dermis. So they're put into free spaces in the dermis, which is called extracellular space, okay? Between all of our cells, I know where I'm getting super sciencey, but that's the halftime method, right? Between all of the cells, there's a bunch of space. Molecules, a tiny, tiny, tiny level. You're not able to see it with the eye, but it does exist. And so what happens when some of these serums are put into that space, when it's not fully absorbed by the cell, it can be picked up in a lymphatic sweep and flushed through the system. What we want is we want these products in or on the tissue as long as possible, which is why there are appropriate steps that you need to take when you are applying mesotherapy. There is a process, a protocol that needs to be followed. It's also why I'm doing it now, and it's also why I will not wipe the stuff off my skin, but I will use a red light therapy belt at the end of my electroporation treatment. How long will results last, guys? Same as body contouring. Now, body contouring specialists, guys, we need to stop acting like we're magicians and that we can change the lives of people who have been with just toxic behavior, toxic nutrition, toxic lifestyles for like 20 years. Okay, guys? So just like any non-invasive treatment, if your client is not following your pre and post care instructions, guess what's going to happen? They're going to go back to how they were. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a notification. Dismiss that. Yes, my client is coming. Okay. So we've been here now. Actually, I don't know how long we've been here. About 30 minutes, I think. So we started with some radio frequency to tighten and tone my abdomen. And now we've moved into mesotherapy. Now, I haven't even used the whole bottle. There are specific measurements that you can use for each area. Is this in the training? RF? Yes. RF. Mesotherapy will be a course in its own. But everything that I've said about radio frequency, conductive agents, we get more into cavitation, we get more into all of that. That's all included in the advanced refresher. Electroporation and mesotherapy, as well as radio frequency for mesotherapy, cavitation for mesotherapy, and laser lipolysis for mesotherapy will be on the mesotherapy course on August 24th, guys. It's very different than how we use our modalities for body contouring purposes. It's a very different it's a very different process, and it's a very different levels, very specific levels of what your frequencies need to be on when you're working for mesotherapy. So I'm looking at my clock here. I have been doing my meso serums with electroporation for the past 10 minutes, and that's really all that's needed, to be honest. I just need to make sure I'm using the appropriate amount of serum and the making sure it's fully absorbed into the tissue. Thank you. Yes. We've got some great reviews with our advanced refresher. I'm loving that you're loving it, girl. You can check out our reviews either on Google, on Halftime Physique. We have a review section in our, what are those, highlights? Can I tell me about the course? So it depends on what course you're looking at. The mesotherapy course is going to go over all of this. It's going to go over serums. It's going to go over protocols. It's going to go over applications with radio frequency, cavitation, electroporation, and laser lipolysis, how it works. Seminars when she does, yes, the fascia. I thought you would like that fascia seminar. It is really great. What was I going to go? If you're looking for advanced body contouring, okay, you want to learn how to use your modalities properly. You want to learn sequences, how everything works, treatment cheat sheets, live protocols, all of that stuff. It covers, the advanced refresher covers cavitation, radio frequency, bipolar RF. So this one, not a lot of people know how to use. You're going to be able to master that because it is phenomenal in the treatment process. Okay. You're going to learn Colombian vacuum therapy as well in that advanced refresher. You're going to learn fat reduction, skin tightening, cellulite, booty building, facials, lymphatic drainage, lymphatic clearing. You got to be careful with your language, ladies, because as body contouring specialists, unless you're licensed RMT, stop telling people that you give lymphatic massage, because that opens you up for liability. So there is regulation around lymphatic massage. You need to be a registered RMT. I don't care who told you different. They may not know better. So if you are a body contouring specialist offering lymphatic, what would be deemed as a lymphatic massage, make sure you are using different language, okay? Someone who is not an RMT cannot certify you in lymphatic massage. It's just, there's regulations around that. So I am not a RMT, so therefore I certify you in lymphatic stimulation and clearing because it helps with body contouring processes. So how many days does this meso need done? Great question. Do you always have to go counterclockwise? No. How many days does this meso need to be done to a client in my body type? So there's specific protocols. We're going to go over all of that in the training. But just getting back in general, guys, back to the topic of we're not magicians. Body contouring specialists, we can only do to the body what it could naturally do to itself, right? Serums are great because, you know, serums have the opportunity to go deep intercellular, into the tissue, into the cell itself, to cause a reaction based on the principles. But if your clients, guys, even with fat reduction, cavitation, skin tightening, if your clients are not following the protocols that you've set out for them, all right, so if they're not following nutritional guidelines, if they're not getting physical activity, if they're not getting some form of cardio, if they're not helping with this detoxification process, you know, we can't undo 20 years of toxicity. Thank you so much for that feedback. So it says, people, she's great on her courses. I love her content, very well explained, and real results on her clients. So that's the other thing that leads to that misinformation, guys, is photo editing, and people who are pushing these results that are are unrealistic. So I work with my students one-on-one regarding that. When we get into these competitive states, guys, competition is a thief of joy. What is for you is always will be for you. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. If you're stuck, if you don't feel like you're getting the best results, I do recommend my course, because that also comes with continuous mentorship. It also comes with continuous professional development, so you can always stay on top of the changing things. What belt is that? So this is laser lipolysis. It's going to hit between 650 and 850. So guys, for laser lipolysis to be effective, again, everything's different wavelengths. If you're looking to stimulate collagen, 650 and below. If you want fat reduction, you're looking at 650 to like 9 something. So this hits both collagen stimulation and fat reduction, as it's in those higher frequencies. This is something that should be included in every course as well, because you need to make sure that you're using the right tools for your treatment process in order to get your clients the best results. So I love my belts. I have 2 of them. I use them for a broad range of treatments, okay? I love them because I can put them on, wrap them up, and my hands are free. So I'm here. We're finishing up right now. I do have my client coming. I am basically all done treatment. So just so you guys see how easy that was, so work smarter, not harder. I was able to deliver a full radio frequency treatment to myself and include some meso serums in under an hour. Okay, if I wasn't talking so much, then this would be like a 30-minute treatment. All right, in and out of the bed. I can charge anywhere from $150 to $200 for a treatment like this. So just keep that in mind. Work smarter, not harder. Know how to pair the right treatments to deliver the right results. I tell my clients, you can't go to the gym and lift heavy straight away. It's the same with body sculpting. Okay, perfect, yes. So yeah, it's a gradual build, absolutely. So yeah, so I'm finishing up. I'm going to leave this on for about 10 minutes. I'm going to clean up my space because I do have somebody coming. Hopefully you all enjoyed this live. You were able to get some information. If you're interested in the mesotherapy course, it's only $99 right now. It's going to be a live interactive. If you got information from just this live or any of my content, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you're learning from my posts, my reels, my stories, my lives, imagine how much more you could learn from the courses. I ensure that this quality is delivered across the board. Halftime Physique, we want to have the best body contouring professionals across the board. When people go to your studio, they see your certification, they're like, okay, awesome, you were certified for the best, from the best, so I know you're the best. And that's my goal from you. Blew you away. Thank you so much. This is my good friend Elaine. You will not be disappointed taking the Advanced Refresher Masterclass. Bar none, the very best. 20 plus years experience, and these courses blew me away with how informative each and every course is. So again, that's a continuous feedback you're going to see across the board. So I'm going to run now. I absolutely appreciate you all being on here last minute. Thank you for joining me, or else I would just be scrolling my phone and bored. So now my friends were with me. No body shaming, guys. Everybody is unique. We love everybody. We treat everybody, and we, yeah, uplift, encourage, and what is it? Empower, uplift, and educate. Okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Just know though, training specific questions are answered in the course. So I won't be able to revamp all of your treatment processes through a DM. I will direct you back to the courses. So I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. I hope that you learn from this. I hope you learn from our posts. I hope you feel encouraged. I hope you feel blessed. I hope you have a prosperous week and a prosperous weekend, and that you continue to take care of yourself, take care of others, and love what you do. Okay, guys? Bye.